The entire school froze when Principal Harris slammed the expulsion letter onto the desk. Standing in front of him was a 15-year-old black boy in worn-out sneakers and a faded hoodie. The principal's voice thundered. "You're an embarrassment to this school. You don't belong here. Pack your things. You're expelled." Gasps spread across the hallway. Students whispered outside the glass door, shocked at what they had just witnessed. No one knew the truth about this boy's family, a truth that would soon stun the entire academy. St. Aldrich Academy was no ordinary school. It was the pride of the city, its ivy-covered walls symbolizing wealth and prestige. Luxury cars lined the courtyard, chauffeurs held umbrellas for students wearing polished uniforms, and the cafeteria looked more like a five-star restaurant than a school lunchroom. Here, status was everything. That's where Jaden Brooks stood out, quiet, humble, and dressed in hand-me-downs. He didn't look like the others who strutted in designer sneakers and tailored blazers. Then there was Principal Harris, a man obsessed with appearances, who measured a student's worth not by grades or kindness, but by how much their family was worth. And always lurking nearby was Chad Wellington, the smug son of a real estate tycoon who never missed a chance to mock anyone who didn't fit his idea of wealth. It began in the cafeteria. Jaden sat alone at the edge of a table, opening his plain brown bag to reveal a simple peanut butter sandwich. Across the room, Chad spotted him and raised his voice. "Hey everyone, look! Jaden brought prison food again. I bet even stray dogs wouldn't eat that." Laughter erupted. Another student chimed in. "Where's your Gucci lunchbox, Jaden?" "Oh wait, you can't even afford one." Jaden looked down, his face tight. But before he could respond, Principal Harris walked by. Instead of stopping the cruelty, he added fuel. He stopped in front of Jaden, staring at his shoes with disgust. #meta. Pause. Sinks. 0.05. The entire school sat inside the grand auditorium beneath crystal chandeliers and velvet curtains. Principal Harris stood at the podium, surveying his students like a king. His voice boomed. "Some of you represent this school with dignity, but others disgrace us. Students who can't even dress properly. Students who drag our reputation down." He paused, eyes scanning the crowd before pointing directly at Jaden. "Jaden Brooks, stand up. You are hereby expelled from St. Aldrich Academy, effective immediately." Gasps filled the room. Murmurs spread like wildfire. From Chad's corner came a loud cheer. "Finally! No more charity cases!" Laughter followed. Jaden's chest burned with shame as hundreds of eyes locked on him. But then, slowly, he rose to his feet. And for the first time, his voice didn't tremble. He said clearly, "You think I don't belong here because of my clothes. You think I'm less than everyone else. But you don't know who I am." The room fell silent. Even Chad's smirk vanished. Jaden reached into his backpack and pulled out a folded letter. He held it up. "This is a letter from the Board of Trustees. My grandmother, Dr. Evelyn Brooks, is the chairwoman of this academy, the highest authority in this entire school." Shock spread through the room. Teachers dropped their pens. Students gasped. Principal Harris's face drained of color as he clutched the podium. Dr. Evelyn Brooks wasn't just a chairwoman. She was a respected judge, a philanthropist, and the woman whose donations had helped build the very walls of St. Aldrich. And Jaden was her grandson. Jaden looked straight at the principal. "So tell me again, Principal Harris, who doesn't belong here?" The silence that followed was suffocating. Principal Harris stammered. I had no idea. Mr. Brooks, But it was too late. The doors opened, and Dr. Evelyn Brooks herself entered the auditorium. Her presence commanded silence. She looked directly at the principal and said, "Principal Harris, you have shamed this institution. Effective immediately, you are relieved of your duties." The students gasped again, this time in awe. Chad shrank into his seat, his face pale, his earlier confidence gone. His father's wealth couldn't protect him from this moment. Dr. Brooks turned to the students and declared, "Let this be a lesson. A person's worth is not measured by their clothes, but by their character." Applause erupted across the auditorium. For the first time, Jaden wasn't seen as the poor boy with worn-out shoes. He was seen as the grandson of the woman who defined the very legacy of the academy. Jaden walked out of the auditorium with his grandmother by his side, no longer humiliated, but dignified, untouchable, and finally respected. Never judge someone by their appearance. The poorest-looking student might belong to the richest legacy, and the loudest bullies, they usually end up silent. Respect everyone. You never know their story.